Fatherhood is a 2021 dramedy. It's directed by Paul Weitz, screenplay by Paul Weitz and Dana Stevens, and it is based on Two Kisses for Maddie, a memoir of loss and love by Matthew Loughlin.
Stars Kevin Hart, Alfre Woodward, Lil Rel Howery, Melody Hurd, with a tomato meter rating of 65% and an audience score of 72%. Eesh.
Yeah, I would have expected a little better scores on this. I'm surprised by those, honestly.
And it's Netflix, so we don't know about no money.
Exactly. Yeah. No budget and box office information available. But Fatherhood follows a new father who's struggling to raise his daughter as a single parent after the sudden death of his wife. So going into this, I really wasn't sure what to expect. I heard some good things about it, but I really didn't know what I was in for. However, I do normally like Kevin Hart movies, so I had some good optimistic expectations. I thought that it was both incredibly touching and paired well with paired the touching side with like quite a few hearty laughs. I don't know. I think that someone might have been cutting onions close to me or something while I was watching this, but there was like something in both of my eyes for a lot of watching this movie. I'm not sure what was going on here. But the film does like a really great job of portraying like the beautiful high points of life as well as the crushing sadness of loss. I do think that it's a great story that was made even better by some really good performances. All around, I think Kevin Hart is just a hell of an actor. He was great in this. And I think that it was a fantastic role where he got to really show some of his range that you don't see in a lot of his comedic roles. I think this movie will mean a lot to different people. As someone who isn't a parent, I don't think that I got as much from it as a lot of parents would, but as someone who has parents, you kind of see it from the other side, I guess. So it's like, I feel like this movie has something that anyone can get something from. I think it does a great job of showing what sacrifices parents make for their children and how, even though it's tough on them and, they're undeniably giving things up for their children, that for them, it's 100% worth it because of the love that they have. So if I was going to have to give this a should you watch verdict, I do think I'm going to give this one a yes. I thought it was great. I thought it was entertaining. And then I do think that there is quite a bit that almost anyone could get from this. What about you? How do you feel?
Yeah. So the whole thing about the dramedy kind of genre label for this movie, I kind of feel like it relates to when I talk about my job and I make the joke that I'm a jack of all trades, which means I suck at everything.
Master of none, right? Is the other half of that?
Yeah. I feel like the drama part wasn't as much there as I wanted it to be. And then the comedy part wasn't quite as much there as I wanted it to be. I kind of feel like it was lacking in both ways. And I think that that's maybe just par for the course with this genre of movies. I thought that some of the comedy was just, it wasn't great comedy, and the drama was more. I don't think that the drama for me was because of the performances. I think that the drama for me was more internal. So I don't think that the film itself did a good job of stirring the emotions as a piece of art. I think that it was more just like internal stuff. It wasn't the stimulus of the film. It was just more me than the movie. I don't like the way that they portrayed the father character Matt in the film. The memoir I haven't read, but a memoir as a genre is something that someone writes about their own experience. I don't like the character Swan. I thought, and I complain about this archetype all the time, I thought she was a little too much of a manic pixie girl character. I thought Melody Hurd as Maddie was very good. She captured a lot of like attitude and kind of personality that a lot of kids I know have, and I mean she really made that show through on the screen. Lil Rel, the character he played, Jordan, was just a little over the top insensitive. I think that Matt's lines were a little too over the top, like avoidant denial kind of stage of grief as opposed to like more the acceptance stage. I don't think they illustrated grief well in the movie. I think that they seemed, like I said, focused on certain parts of it. And I don't really know that by the end of the film, that the characters had changed much. And being that this is based on a literary work that's someone's personal experience, there's no way that person didn't change. So I just
Mhm.
don't think that they did a very good job of telling a story that seemed real to me. But once again, there are certain parts of it. Like I'm not a parent, but there are children in my family. I vicariously have seen, some of the experiences that my sisters have had with their kids, and I don't have a complete understanding of it. I could see why some parents might like the movie, but I think that what'll happen is people that are parents, you'll enjoy the parts that remind you of what it's like to have kids, and it might hurt a little bit for you to recognize what it's like to not have someone to help. But it's not a good movie. It's feelings you already have, and the film's not going to make that happen for you. So if it's not completely obvious, I got to give this one a no.
Mm.
I will say I like seeing people that are typically cast as comedians in dramatic films. I thought Kevin Hart did a good job for a comedian, but for a comedian. So yeah, I mean, I didn't hate the movie, but I don't think you should use your time watching it.
Hmm. Wow. Well, we haven't disagreed this hard in a while. I cannot wait to explain why you're so wrong. So let's go ahead and get this little guy out here. He can spoil the movie. He'll let you know the wife dies. Yep, that's a spoiler. That's the
Yep.
spoiler. That's
Spoilers. Spoilers.
all right. Get out of here. No.